The first fight over 8 rounds for Darlington's Ben Marksby, and no question his toughest opponent today, Miguel Antin, El Gato, the Cat, who we saw as a late replacement against Harlem Eubank in March of last year, who acquitted himself pretty well. Lost 3 times since then, in Torino, in Rotherham against Tin and Bradley, then in Hungary, but keeps letting his hands go, can be dangerous. Certainly the toughest test that Marksby has had in his pro career so far anyway.
No, yeah, it is. It's a really ambitious match, I feel, because Marksby he's looked really good so far, but because he has fast hands and fast feet, he has tended a few fights in the past just to rush his work, to want to show that speed a little bit too much. And with that, you just reduce the power and the weight in the shot. And I think if Antin feels that, he will try and walk right through Marksby and make it a really hard night for him. So what Marksby's doing here now, just holding his feet a little bit, just getting a little more purchase on the shots. I think that's the better tact, just to be a little more economical and get a little bit more weight on each fight.
Just here in Bolton against Kane Gardner in September of 2022. Antin again, though, that's no shame in that result. It's fascinating to see how Marksby responds to this test. Wants to be in English title contention this year, certainly early next. These are very, very important steps.
Especially doing 8 rounds with a guy who's going to, certainly after 3 or 4 rounds, is going to make you work for it. So it gives you that fight management experience. How you react when you get a little bit tired, when things not working for you, how to make the adjustments in a longer fight. And you don't see the finishing line for quite a while.
Says he was 6 years of age when he first went to the gym. Ben, his dad Andy owned Darlington ABC. It's all that he's ever known, this game.
He's boxing well here so far. The jab's really good here for Marksby. Taking his time a little bit more. He knows he has naturally fast hands. He didn't have to force that speed out.
Just a little warning there from John Latham. Punching around the back of the head for Antin.
Antin had a point there. I think Antin was sort of, he gestures as if like Marksby was sort of half turning away when he bent over. I think he's got a bit of a point there.
That's good work. Antin rushed in a little there, didn't he? It was good accuracy from Marksby. Good jab as well, and spins away Marksby. Still early on the journey. Ben Marksby, this fight number 10, 9-0 coming into this. They certainly have plans for him. Given a test here by Jordan Ellison, deducted 2 points for low blows in that fight. It was 57-55 on Steve Gray's card in the end. He won it fairly comfortably, but it was one of those nights that was a learning fight for him.
You can look at it and think, oh, we can do it a lot better. But I think those fights are important. Where you have to, just little things don't go your way at times. You have to adjust, and also mentally, the temperament you have to show to not make mistakes, not foul.
A flurry of punches there, some of which connected. There's that snaking jab again from Marksby, such an important punch for him.
And just a little wear here at Marksby, because he boxed really well in that first round, but he had a bit of success at the end of the round, and then he reverted back to his natural state, was to move around the ring and give away too much ground. And I just want to make sure he doesn't do that too often here. That will allow Antin just a momentum to come forward, and that's what he wants to be, a strong, aggressive sort of type fighter that will cause Marksby more problems. The Marksby we saw in the first 3 quarters of the first round was more controlled. Pretty much saying just keep that focus, that concentration.
Shared 2 amateur bouts with Mark Chamberlain, Ben Marksby. Real high-level stuff at times, as a junior anyway.
That's good work here from Marksby again. The left hand's been a real weapon for him so far.
Holds it so low, doesn't he? That really nice relaxed style.
It's lovely bit of work. Again, not rushing that speed, not trying to force the speed. It's a different purchase to his punches now than we've seen in previous contests, I feel.
Antin getting frustrated there, trying to close the gap and punching at fresh air.
But again, that was good for Max, because in previous rounds he would continue to dance around the ring. He moved around, go straight back to the centre of the ring, and here he is again, he'll be more assertive.
Another good round this from Ben Marksby. So Emilio Prada there in the Miguel Antin corner. The 11th time he's fought in Europe, the 6th in the UK. Also fought in Poland and Germany and Belgium and France. He's fought in Barcelona as well. Very well travelled. There's that double jab again from Marksby, and then sneaky left hook as well.
You see Antin, he came out with a bit of a bounce to his step, just trying to get some rhythm to his work. And again, the jab with Marksby just closes it down straight away.
Having to work hard there to separate them. Antin's trying to get his head onto Marksby's chest here.
Good movement here from Marksby, but again, you've got to remember to get back to keep that concentration, get back to the centre of the ring.
Marksby hasn't stopped any of his opponents. Antin has 8 knockouts on his record, albeit not at this level.
Lovely movement there from Marksby. It's better then, back in the centre of the ring, and you work around that circle around the ring in the middle there. Keep your foot in the middle. See, when you're boxing off the ropes like this, and I know this better than most, and I spent the whole career doing it, but you can't push, it's hard to push off the back leg to get any weight or any snap in your punches. And that's why you'll find out he's not getting the stoppages, because of things like that. When you're pushing forward, there's more levers in the shots, more weight in the punch.
Antin's plan is fairly clear, fairly simple. Going to keep marching forward. Trying to just find an opening. Struggling to get close enough here.
But Antin's not throwing too many goes. He's not in his tank, or not panicking yet. Just trying to make Marksby work.
Boxed 3 times last year, Ben Marksby. Last fight was a points win against Pontefract's Kurt Jackson in December. Might remember as well, he was involved on that terrific night, the night of Kelly Williamson in Newcastle. Really enjoyable night that was on Channel 5. Marksby got a win against Santiago Garces that night. Meant a lot to him, of course, geographically. Williamson, a big hero of his as well. Lives just down the road.
Sat ringside as well here, Troy, cheering Marksby on. Big start to the rounds here from Marksby. Really accurate in his work.
shot there from Antin. Does have a reputation, Antin, for continuing to throw shots right to the end of a fight, for being durable and being active in the later rounds. And as you've already said, Barry, there's an element of energy conservation going on with him.
Yeah, but he worked on trying to make you work hard, wasn't he? And I think that's what he's done. Good right time there for Marksby. But I'm well aware he hasn't really done it too much at Marksby. He reversed back to the type. When you get relaxed or you're not relaxed, either way, you start to do what you do naturally, and that's move and be more fleet-footed. But that allowed Antin just more momentum coming forward. Work again there from Marksby.
Banging Antin to the body, and Antin's increased aggression in this round has allowed Marksby to land a short to great uppercut there from Marksby, but Antin responds. That's his best punch of the fight, Marksby.
I'm never really a fan of someone with their low hands, but when you do have a fighter who does punch from his hips, it's really hard to read the shots coming at you. Good body shot there from Marksby off the ropes.
He's reading Antin very well.
As you said, I was just thinking Antin's got to start fainting. He's got to disguise his work, hasn't he? Just as you said it. It's a little bit too predictable here for Marksby. He's putting out a career best performance so far.
Spring in the step of Antin, but almost trying to kid his opponent a bit there. Remember, a first 8 round of this for Ben Marksby. Into the second half of it, it's been a really good display so far against a dangerous opponent. Miguel Antin, left hook there from Marksby again. Definitely trying to put his foot on the gas a bit here, Marksby.
But he doesn't need to rush it. I'm worried. I'm really worried. I don't know why I'm so worried. I'm really worried that he's going to start rushing his work too much and then just tire himself out and then have a torrid last 2 or 3 rounds. Control it. Do we do now? Be calm, composed. He's walking around the shots superbly here so far. Just don't give away too much ground, that's all. That's my only worry. I think it's been fantastic so far tonight, he really has.
Good work again there from Marksby. As Barry puts his worry beads back into his pocket for the time being.
Yeah, it's just because he came out so much differently in the first round. I think more assertive and more economical. He was better for it, and I could have said in his previous fights he has speed, but he tries to be too fast. I think that takes away some of his good work. But tonight he's put that right. I think he's got the blend perfectly.
He just burrow forward, and John Latham wants a word here. And he knew exactly what he was doing. Sign of a frustrated fighter. Sense of tonight that we might start to find out how much of a prospect Ben Marksby is, and he's impressed us.
Do you know what? I was thinking, you're reading my mind. This is the first time we've actually seen this is a kid who's going to be a championship sort of fighter. Whatever level, we don't know. But he looks it. Before he looked like a prospect who maybe was a little bit too wispy, if that makes any sense. But tonight I think he's got the blend right. He's shown that. Locking right hands. I think the distance, the 12-round distance, I think would be suited for him. The way he's boxing at the minute, it shows all the qualities of a championship fighter here.
It's the sort of moment in the fight where Antin does start to let his hands go, where he does show that surprising durability. We saw it against Harlem Eubank. Antin just pushed back there. Tell you what, his game as you like, Antin. We knew that, but we've seen it again here tonight.
Good shot there.
Great shot, wasn't it? Little nod of acknowledgement there for Ben Marksby. He'll be enjoying this performance. Big smile on the face of Troy Williamson across the ring from us as well, so I think he's looking fairly relaxed.
If Antin's going to make a dent, he's going to have to start doing it now, isn't he? He's going to make Marksby worried, tired, panic. He's got to invest now.
There is always that chance, isn't there, when you're going a distance you haven't been. Antin knows all about going 8 and beyond. That's a great right hand there from Marksby off the back of a combination.
And Marksby's not a puncher. You can get that. No, he's not. Good shot there for Antin, lovely right hand. But there's enough weight on his punches to stop Antin from coming at him, and that's all he needs right now. I think that's quite important. I think if there was the Marksby we've seen a few fights ago, a good shot.
There's another good shot, wasn't it, from Antin? Marksby just needs to be a little bit careful here.
I think Antin would have tried to walk through him like from earlier on in the fight. We would have seen the Marksby we've seen before, really free-footed, barely put anything on the shots.
Well, good left hand there from Marksby. That was accurate right on the chin. And Antin starting to have little moments of success here. Of course, he's taking plenty to get close.
A good left hook there from Antin as well. Marksby just tiring a bit here, just a little bit loose, a little bit more ragged than we've seen him in the previous round.
Antin closing the gap again and letting his hands go.
Stop boxing! Stop boxing.
Still 2 rounds to go, remember, after this one.
Have a little bit of work there. You know when someone's getting tired, like Marksby is, because he stopped using the jab. So he started to just do the big shots and lead him in left hooks, firing right hands off, so he got off the bat rather than working behind the jab. And forget the fundamentals when you start to lose his shape and get a bit tired.
Big right hand again there from Antin, and he caught him with a straight left as well. And Antin's tough and durable. In the next 2 rounds, Ben Marksby's going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot about him. Can he keep his shape? Can he stick to his work? Or can Antin continue just to make a dent or 2 in him? There's a tiny bit of jeopardy here for Marksby. Still in control, but Antin's still dangerous.
And in stages, especially this sort of round now, the penultimate round, this is where the fundamentals are so important. Because you just do this, you do the basics well, and they keep you safe. And in the last round then you can go, then you can start using all your athleticism and flurry combinations. So especially in a fight that you're clearly winning so well, just don't make any mistakes now.
Antin is trying to walk through Marksby. There's enough to discourage him here at the moment.
All the other good work he's done, Marksby, if he wins the fight, and if it goes the way it's going to win the fight, it's the jab that's winning the fight. So in the early part, in the early rounds, just every time Antin made the move, the jab was in his face, and he couldn't mount any attacks.
Started to land that jab again in the 7th round. just calmed things down a bit. Doubles it up again. Great accuracy, great rhythm there from Marksby.
And taking the centre of the ring here as well, Marksby. Should be Antin moving forwards here, pushing Marksby back, and it's the other way.
Antin has slowed up as well. Just wonder how much of that 6th round was something approaching a final flurry from him. Right hand to the body there from Marksby. Even though Antin's trying to dance a bit and keep that spring in his step, you certainly sense that he's slowed and takes that right hand.
Yeah, it's just the wrong distance, isn't it? The fight's been fought the wrong distance here for Antin. This is the one rolling forwards here.
Recovered his equilibrium here, Ben Marksby. So 3 minutes away from the most significant win of his career so far here, Ben Marksby of Darlington. Sometimes you can talk about fighters challenging for an English title and beyond, and it's one thing talking, there's another picturing it, and I think tonight you start to picture it for Ben Marksby. It's a good quiet start here to the 8th round.
Oh, it's good movement with the feet there from Marksby. He just threw a jab a few seconds ago. And I think Antin felt it as well. The real jarring left hand it was there from Marksby.
And let's be clear as well about this opponent. This isn't classic prospect against journeyman. Antin is a bit better than that. 20-15-1 coming into this, and might be on the way to becoming a journeyman, but someone who, I'm not saying he tested Harlan Eubank last March, but he certainly held his own for periods.
It's one of those fighters that if he beats you, it's catastrophic for your career, no, for your development, not your career, your development. If you sneak home, then you pull the brakes just a little bit. But if you dominate like he has for most of the fight, then it's an impressive victory. I would say that. If you win, it's a good milestone because you've the first 8 rounds against a guy who could really make you work for it. But for the most part, I think Marksby's controlled everything.
Of course, what will be interesting is where do you go next to match him carefully. But tonight he's proved plenty, I think. And also credit to Antin, who is always enjoyable to watch.
You give him opportunity, he's going to make it a nightmare for you, a really hard fight. But Marksby, the jab has been his weapon tonight. It's been fantastic. In the early rounds, it was brilliant.
Bit of flash here from Marksby. Certainly want to stay busy the rest of the year, and as I said, English title in 2024 was the ambition. Might not be too far beyond him now, that.
Yeah, and I think it's important, what you said, it's important for him to be busy after this fight, not to have too much of a long rest. It's a lovely bit of work off the ropes there from Marksby, showing plenty of energy here. Last 10 seconds though.
Antin trying to come on strong late on. But even Antin will acknowledge how good Marksby has been. He's had little pockets of success, but Ben Marksby comes of age in Bolton tonight.
After 8 rounds, we go to the scorecard of our scoring referee, John Latham. He has the bout at 80 points to 73 points in favour of the winner from Darlington, Ben Marksby.
He got a share of 1 round, Antin. He was game as ever. But it was brilliant Ben who prevailed on the night. Where next for him?